Investing or buying real estate in the Philippines can be rewarding because the value of your investment in properties can increase, and it can be rewarding simply because of finally fulfilling the need to buy a home where you can make memories. In the same way, selling real estate professionally can also be rewarding. You get to help people find their ideal homes, you get to take part in growing your clients' investments, and your income potential can also be financially rewarding. But being able to sell a lot of properties as a professional and succeeding with real estate as an investor, these things happen not just because you are skilled or that you are good in what you're doing. There are many factors that contribute to your success in real estate, such as a growing Philippine economy, an increasing population, a market that has a buying power, a big market that has the need for homes, and the big factor that contributes to your sales is the developer. There can be no products for you to sell if there are no developers. And some of the things that contribute to being able to sell the products or properties of these developers are the following: the developer's reputation, the developer's history of delivery of the project, the developer's quality of work, and the quality of life of the people living in their finished properties. So, whether you are investing in Philippine real estate, or whether you are a real estate professional who wants to sell Philippine real estate, knowing the reputable developers is very, very important. In this video, we are sharing with you information on selected reputable developers in the Philippines. These developers have been chosen to be included in this list based on the following criteria: years of experience, size of land or estates that they own, projects sold out, projects delivered, net income in financial statements, awards given, and researches conducted. But just an important disclaimer: these reputable and known developers do not have the monopoly of being the best. Neither do they have the monopoly of creating projects that are deserving to be purchased by every given market. There are many developers. There are many places all over the Philippines where properties are located. And there are many markets to consider. Furthermore, there might be new promising developers as well. But if you are considering a developer and it's not on the list, you must always do your own research. Here are some advice on how to do proper research on developers. Research on the past projects the developer has made. Were these projects delivered on time? Or if not delivered on time, were these projects really delivered? Visit in person and see for yourself the previous projects that the developer has made. That way, you can see the quality of their work in person. Interview the people living in the previous projects, and interview the past buyers. Research the internet for reviews and experience of past buyers. But it's best to consider looking at the market. Know what is the market of the project you are considering. Know what is the market of the previous project that you can visit in person. This is because the market can dictate too the quality of work of the project and the quality of life in living there. The common markets served in the Philippines are the following: the luxury market, high-end market or upscale market, mid-range market or mid-income market, affordable market, economic market. And last, but certainly not the least, make sure the developer has an authentic license to sell for the project. Now that we have laid those out, it's time to get into our list. In no particular order, with no ranking whatsoever, here are the reputable real estate developers in the Philippines. Ayala Land Inc. Ayala Land is one of the oldest developers in the Philippines. Ayala's very first project is the most expensive now in the country, Forbes Park, which first broke ground in 1948, 75 years ago. Forbes Park is an exclusive gated residential subdivision for the affluent located in Makati City. Makati City, the land then known as the Hacienda San Pedro de Makati, was a hectare of land purchased by an ancestor of the Zubel de Ayala family. That ancestor was Jose Bonifacio Rojas, who purchased it in 1851, which was almost 100 years before Forbes Park. The Zubel Ayala Rojas clan was known for their practice of purchasing lands, aside from their other businesses in distillery, import-export, and pharmacy. The Hacienda San Pedro de Makati is located right beside Manila City. Manila was the capital city of the Philippines, but in 1945, during the Japanese occupation in World War II, the Battle of Manila resulted in the complete destruction of Manila City. The devastation displaced residents and destroyed the livelihood in the area. The Zubel de Ayala clan then saw this as an opportunity to build a new city with their hacienda. Its first idea was to begin with developing a residential subdivision of lots, catering to the richest and the influential, to entice people to move into the new city. Joseph McMiking, a businessman who later on married into the Ayala family and who helped with the master planning of the hacienda, was quoted stressing on the importance of the success of Forbes Park for the initial plan. He said, "The fate of a city is in the hands of its population." The Ayalas also convinced two exclusive membership clubs to relocate to Makati. There was the Manila Polo Club, which was then in Pasay City, and the Manila Golf Club, which was then originally in Caloocan. Having these clubs within the city will attract their target market to move into Makati. Not to mention that its master plan was also attractive in making sure it includes commercial and business districts and institutions, with Colegio San Agustin School being established in 1969. Succeeding luxury subdivisions of the area developed by Ayala were Dasmariñas Village, Urdaneta Village, Bel Air, San Lorenzo Village, Magallanes Village. The values of these lots have appreciated so much that an average price of Forbes Park now amounts to 500 million pesos. Ayala also develops condominium properties, with Salcedo Mansion being one of the earliest. Salcedo Mansion in Makati was built in 1984. The Ayalas as a developer was then known as Ayala Corporation, but in 1988, they established Ayala Land Inc. as the real estate arm. Ayala Land Inc. became a publicly listed company in the stock market in 1991. Ayala Land was then associated with premier or luxury properties, but in the 1990s, the Ayala Corp established the Laguna Properties Holdings Inc. to cater to the mid-range market, and Community Innovations Inc. in the 2000s to cater to the high-end market. These have later on been rebranded. Now, Ayala Land Inc.'s sub-companies cater to the different markets with the following brands: Ayala Land Premier for the luxury market, Alveo Land for the upscale or high-end market, Avida Land for the mid-range or mid-income market, Amaya Land for the affordable market, Bella Vita for the economic market. Similar to how they built the Makati Central, Ayala Land Inc. not only builds projects, but builds townships and cities, complete with master planning and sustainability plans. Some major townships and estates of Ayala Land are the following: Ayala Alabang in Muntinlupa, the Central of Bonifacio Global City, Taguig, Arca South, Taguig, Bermosa in Cavite, Nuvali in Laguna, Cebu Park District in Cebu, Cloverleaf in Caloocan, Altarazza in San Jose del Monte, Bulacan, Leo in Palawan, Atria Park District in Iloilo, North Point in Talisay, Negros Occidental, Capital Central in Iloilo, Abriza in Davao, Centrio in Cagayan de Oro. Ayala Land's net income in 2022 was 13.3 billion pesos. SMDC or SM Development Corporation, the real estate subsidiary of the well-known SM Group, which was founded by Henry C. Henry C. migrated to the Philippines from China in 1936 at the age of 12 to help his father do business by selling various items that they would buy from Divisoria and resell. But because of the Battle of Manila during World War II, their small store was destroyed. His parents then returned to China, but Henry C. stayed back in the Philippines to study and work. Henry C. opened his first shoe store in Quiapo in 1948. He would sell American shoes that he would buy from enterprising soldiers who traveled from America. By the 1960s, he opened Shoe Mart and it became the first air-conditioned shoe store in the country, wherein the shoes are showcased elegantly. When he brought in other categories such as clothing and merchandise, he renamed it to SM. Now, there are more than 200 SM stores, both in the Philippines and China. Having the foresight, vision, and discipline, Henry C. rose to become the richest man in the Philippines. Aside from mall development, SM Group has diversified into banking, tourism, and real estate. SM is also a major investor in various companies in different industries such as media, education, gaming, logistics, energy development, and a lot more. SM's real estate arm is SMDC or SM Development Corporation, which was established in 1996, 27 years ago. SMDC primarily caters to the mid-range or the middle-income market, with the goal of having a fast turnover rate without compromising quality. SMDC has projects all over the country, from Metro Manila, Tagaytay, Rizal, Bulacan, Pampanga, Cavite, Laguna, Bacolod, Iloilo, Davao, Cagayan de Oro. It also targets to develop homes and townships in Visayas and Mindanao. In 2022, SMDC's net income was 15.6 billion pesos, the highest among all developers in the Philippines. Ortigas Land. Ortigas Land, formerly known as Ortigas & Company, is one of the oldest developers in the Philippines, spanning 90 years of experience in real estate development. It began in 1920 when Don Francisco Ortigas or Don Paco and Dr. Frank Dudley purchased a part of the Hacienda de Mandaluyong from the Augustinian fathers. Throughout the years, the business partners of Ortigas changed from Dudley to Phil Whitaker, to Vicente Madrigal, to BCM Johnston, Fulgencio Borromeo, Clyde DeWitt, and Manuel Quezon, and Ramirez and Lanuza. The main objective of the partnership was to acquire the Hacienda de Mandaluyong, which are now the cities of Mandaluyong, San Juan, Pasig, and Quezon City. Ortigas Land developed this as mixed use, including residential, commercial, industrial, and business districts. Some of the Ortigas Land's successful projects with very high values now are Green Meadows, Green Hills Villages, Valle Verde, Wakwak, and Capitol. Some of Ortigas Land's mixed-use estates are Ortigas Center Business District, Capitol Commons, Círculo Verde, Green Hills Center, and Ortigas East. Majority stakes of Ortigas Land were acquired by SMDC and Ayala Land Inc. in 2014. Ortigas Land is now majority owned by both SMDC and Ayala Land Inc. Aiming for growth and capitalization, Ortigas Land is preparing to go public in the Philippine Stock Exchange market by year 2027. Philinvest Land Inc. Philinvest Land Inc., the real estate subsidiary of the Philinvest Group, or Philinvest Development Corporation, was founded by Andrew Gutianon Sr. and his wife Mercedes Gutianon. When Andrew Gutianon was only 10 years old, his family migrated from China to Cebu. Andrew did not finish his studies because he had to become the man who would take care of the women in his family after his father and brother passed away. After the World War II, Gutianon earned a living by salvaging ships or minesweepers. He married Mercedes, who was from Manila, and they both moved to Manila to try their luck with business opportunities. The Gutianon couple founded the Philinvest Development Corporation in 1955 and ventured into financing business for second-hand cars. Its first real estate endeavor was in 1967, 56 years ago, by developing a subdivision in Cebu, the St. Michael Village. Philinvest Land Inc. went public in the Philippines Stock Exchange market in 1993. Philinvest primarily catered to mid-range to affordable markets with residential lots and housing. It has also expanded to different markets and townships and mixed-use developments. Throughout the years, Philinvest has accumulated extensive and well-located land bank, which spans over 2,500 hectares all over the Philippines, in Metro Manila, Rizal, Bulacan, Batangas, Cavite, and Laguna, Cebu, Davao, and General Santos in South Cotabato Province. Some of Philinvest Township's mixed-use developments are the following: Philinvest City in Alabang, Muntinlupa, City de Mare in Cebu, Timberland Heights in San Mateo, Rizal, Philinvest New Clark City in Tarlac, and Philinvest Mimosa Plus Leisure City in Clark Three-Port Zone. Philinvest Land's net income in 2022 was 2.27 billion pesos. Federal Land. Federal Land is the real estate subsidiary of the company GT Capital Holdings. The letters GT stands for the name of its founder, George T. The story goes that, having experienced difficulties when his family was securing a loan, George T. later on established his own bank at the age of 29 in 1962 in Binondo, Manila. This bank is Metrobank, which has become the second largest bank in the Philippines today. George T. is said to be someone who was very much into architecture and design. He was very hands-on in the designs of the buildings of Metrobank's branches. It is not surprising then that in establishing Metrobank's real estate arm, Federal Land, the first projects were condominium buildings, the Soler Tower, Titana Plaza, and Mandarin Mansion in the 1970s, which were the first high-rise condominium buildings in Manila. From Manila, Federal Land has expanded to other locations such as Makati, Quezon City, San Juan, Marikina, Pasay, Parañaque, Taguig, Cavite, and Cebu. Some notable projects of Federal Land are the GT Tower and the Estates in Makati. The Estates is in partnership with SM Development Corporation. Federal Land distinctly collaborates with international partners for world-class practices, such as with Nomura Real Estate Development Corporation and Isetan Mitsukoshi Holdings Limited for the Seasons Residences, and Oryx Corporation for a mixed-use development project in Bonifacio Global City, which includes Grand Hyatt projects, and the Metrobank Center, the tallest building in the Philippines, standing 318 meters with 66 stories. Federal Land's net income in 2022 is 4.5 billion pesos. DMCI Homes. DMCI stands for the name of its founder, David Mendoza Consunji Incorporated, a direct descendant of Confucius, the great Chinese philosopher. David's last name, Consunji, is a derivation of the name Confucius. David was born from a middle-class family in Bataan. He graduated from civil engineering from the University of the Philippines, Diliman, and passed the exam after the War of the Battle of Manila. He sadly lost his brother from the war. His father and uncle died from rebel groups while they were in the province, and he lost his mother from a heart condition. David started out as a teacher in Bataan and worked as a concrete inspector. To learn about the construction industry and become a builder himself, he worked without pay for 4 months for Santa Clara Construction. Guided by his cousin Ricardo, who already had 10 years of experience in construction, David started out his own small contracting company in 1950. And in 1954, he established DM Consunji Incorporated Construction Company in Manila. His first projects were chicken houses for the government, and his big break was the construction of Coca-Cola plant in Tacloban, which he finished ahead of the schedule. His company has become known for this reputation of on-time delivery without compromising quality. A look at the impressive roster of the completed projects of DMCI would make it a symbol, a testament of the professionalism and expertise of the Filipino engineer. DMCI was the builder of these notable projects: Shangri-La Hotel Makati and Shangri-La Resorts Boracay, the Ayala Malls in Makati and Cebu, Ayala Tower 1 and Exchange Plaza in Makati, Cultural Center of the Philippines, Rockwell Land Condominium Towers, SM Malls, Mega Mall, SM Manila, Dasmariñas and Fairview, major banking headquarters in Makati such as Citibank, BPI, and a lot more. DMCI has also built projects internationally, such as the New Istana or the Royal Palace in Brunei. In 1999, DMCI established DMCI Homes as a developer. But in contrast to just building skyscraper towers, DMCI also looked at the underserved market, the middle-income families, and built for them mid-rise resort-like communities with open spaces and amenities located within the city. DMCI believes that their market deserves better, deserves a real home, accessible to work, a cocoon of good living, because no one should feel that he has compromised on his home. Some of DMCI's notable development projects are Royal Palm Residences, Rosewood Point, Sonora Garden Residences, Mulberry Place. They also have tower developments such as the Erin Heights and the Kalinea Tower. DMCI Homes' net income in 2022 is 3.9 billion pesos. Megaworld Corporation. Megaworld is one of the largest developers in the Philippines today. It was founded by Andrew Tan. Andrew Tan came from a poor family in China who migrated to Hong Kong and then to the Philippines. His father was a factory worker and his mother was a street vendor. Andrew Tan was working odd jobs while he was pursuing his studies, and he graduated from the University of the East with a degree in accounting and was awarded magna cum laude. He was 37 years old when he started Megaworld in 1989 with a focus on real estate development, marketing, and leasing. Megaworld develops different kinds of real estate developments such as residential, offices, commercial, malls, resorts, and gaming. Megaworld has an extensive land bank portfolio, having developed mixed-use townships all over the country from Luzon to Visayas and Mindanao, such as the following townships: Eastwood City, Newport City, Arcovia City, Uptown Bonifacio, McKinley Hill, Southwood City, Boracay New Coast, Iloilo Business Park, Davao Park District. A subsidiary of Megaworld is Empire East Land Holdings. It caters to the middle-income market and develops mid-rise to high-rise condominium buildings and residential house and lot projects such as the following: San Lorenzo Place, Makati, Pioneer Woodlands, Little Baguio, the Paddington Place, Empire East Hainan City, and Gasara Urban Resort Residences. Megaworld has also acquired SunTrust Properties Incorporated in year 2007. It develops projects for the mid-income market all over the Philippines. It also acquired Stateland Inc. in 2018. Stateland Inc. was founded in 1976 with 47 years of experience. It builds residential projects in key areas in Luzon for the mid-income market. The net income of Megaworld in 2022 is 9.7 billion pesos. Vista Land. Vista Land was founded by Manuel or Manny Villar. Manny Villar came from humble beginnings in Manila. His father was a government employee and his mother was a seafood vendor whom he always helped in selling in the market. Manny Villar graduated from the University of the Philippines, Diliman, and worked as an accountant for SGV & Co. He started his own business of delivering seafood in Makati. He also worked as a financial analyst selling loans. Eventually, he availed one of the loans, quit his job, and started on his own. This time, he purchased 2 trucks for his business of delivering sand and gravel to construction companies, which eventually led him to constructing houses himself after he took out loans from a rural bank with low interest rates. Manny Villar's Vistaland Development Company soon becomes one of the largest and most successful real estate developers in the Philippines. Vistaland has various award-winning brands or sub-developers that serve different markets. These sub-developers are the following: Bria, which caters to the economic market; Lumina, which caters to the affordable market; Camela, which caters to the mid-range market; and Brittany, which caters to the high-end market. Some of the projects of Brittany are the following: Alpine Villas, Enclaves, Promenade, and Crosswinds Luxury Swiss Resort in Tagaytay. The net income of Vistaland in 2022 is 6.7 billion pesos. Robinsons Land Corporation. Robinsons Land is the real estate subsidiary of the conglomerate JG Summit Holdings. The acronym JG stands for the name of its founder, John Gokong Wei. John's family were migrants from Fujian, China in Cebu. When he was only 13 years old, his father died, and the banks took away their family's business and left them penniless. At a young age, while still studying, John had to help his family by selling peanuts, soap, candles, and thread together with his mother while they sent his siblings back to China. Eventually, he found out that he could sell more items in Manila. So, he would travel from Cebu to Manila by the boat Batel. After selling his items in Manila, he would buy products there and then resell these in Cebu. One unforgettable experience during one of his travels to Manila, their boat had sunk, but fortunately, everyone survived because John Gokong Wei at that time had brought with him tires to resell. The tires kept them afloat the water and survived from drowning. Eventually, John Gokong Wei was able to build a business from selling various items in Manila to creating his own product. Today, JG Summit products are household names, and he has diversified the business and investments to include real estate development. Robinsons Land is known as the second largest mall operator with over 53 shopping and lifestyle centers in the Philippines. It has the most number of hotels in the country, an impressive count of 28 office developments and over 100 residential projects across the country. An impressive count of 28 office developments and over 100 residential projects across the country. Robinsons Land has tied up with Shang Properties for the luxury condominium, the Aurelia Residences in Bonifacio Global City. It has also tied up with international developer Hong Kong Land for the residential project The Velaris, located in Bridgetown. Bridgetown is a mixed-use township in Pasig in Quezon City, master planned by Robinsons Land. The net income of Robinsons Land is 6.7 billion pesos in 2022. Rockwell Land. Rockwell Land is primarily known as a luxury developer in the Philippines, with its portfolio of exclusive residential projects located in Rockwell Center in Makati. The land of Rockwell Center used to be an unused thermal plant, which they transformed in 1995 to become a mixed-use development of Rockwell Land, with residential towers, office towers, institution, and shopping mall. Rockwell Land is owned by the Lopez Holdings Corporation. One of Rockwell Land's notable projects is the Proscenium, which is one of the most exclusive residences in the country with luxurious amenities and landscaped open spaces. Rockwell Land has also expanded to other areas in the country, such as the Grove by Rockwell. In 2012, Rockwell Land established Rockwell Primaries to also cater to the mid-income market while providing quality and beautiful designs. Some of Rockwell Primaries projects are 53 Benitez, The Vantage at Capitolio, and East Bay Residences. The net income of Rockwell Land in 2022 is 2 billion pesos. Shang Properties. Shang Properties has been a developer in the Philippines since 1987. It is known for retail leasing in malls, office leasing, and residential development. Some of these projects are the following: the Shangri-La Plaza Mall, the Enterprise Center, the Shang Grand Tower, Shang Salcedo Place, the Rise in Makati, and the Horizon Homes in Bonifacio Global City. Its new projects are Haraya Residences in Bridgetown, Pasig, Shang Residences at Wakwak, and one of the most exclusive residential developments, Aurelia Residences in Bonifacio Global City. Eton Properties. One of the youngest real estate companies, Eton Properties is only about a decade old when it joined the major players in the Philippine real estate industry. Eton Properties is owned by the Lucio Tan Group. Before starting in the Philippines, Eton Properties was already an established developer or a real estate brand in China and Hong Kong. Eton in the Philippines develops townships, office, and commercial centers, and residential developments. Some of these projects are the following: Eton Centris in Quezon City, Eton City in Santa Rosa, Laguna, the Eton Residences Greenbelt, Eton Parkview Greenbelt, and Eton Bay Park, Manila. The net income of Eton Properties in 2022 is 335 million pesos. Century Properties. Century Properties was founded by 40-year-old Jose or Joey E.D. Antonio in 1986, a few days before People Power Revolution. Despite being in a period of economic instability, Joey was ambitious and started a company with a group of 5 sales agents. They started out by selling properties of other developers. The company's HR was Joey's father, Ramon Antonio Jr., who was the former vice president of Pacific Banking Corporation. Before starting Century Properties, founder Joey Antonio was a stockbroker in the United States of America. Joey's exposure abroad has made him ambitious with a vision, not only for Century Properties but for the Philippines as a country, saying, "My dream has been to position Manila as an international city because we lose by default against cities like Hong Kong and Singapore, where all brands go. Our tie-up with brands like Versace is a conscious effort to position us as a city with good service, restaurants, and luxury brands." With this dream, Joey raises the bar when it comes to the concepts and designs of Century's projects, such as with the Milano Residences, which had its amenity area designed by the Versace brand. Century Properties is a pioneer of luxury residential condominium projects, starting out with Essenza East Forbes in 1997 in Bonifacio Global City. Another notable project of Century is Azure Urban Resort Residences in Parañaque, with its man-made beach resort amenities. The beach club was designed by American celebrity and businesswoman Paris Hilton. Century also developed the Trump Tower in Manila with licensing of the name of Donald Trump. Century Properties has also established the first Park Homes company as the sub-developer that will cater to the mid-income market, affordable market, economic and socialized market. The net income of Century Properties in 2022 is 1.14 billion pesos. But these developers, despite their accomplishments, experiences, and number of projects, are not without controversies. Some of the controversies that can be read over the internet are the following: Century properties, excess size, and no electricity. A forum can be searched on the internet where past buyers of Century properties post their complaints. One common complaint is regarding units being turned over without electricity, and it has been months that they are not being fixed. Another common complaint is about the wrong estimate of the size in square meters of the units. Upon turnover, some units have excess or bigger size. Hence, the owners are being demanded to pay for this excess. Because of this, the owners are complaining. SM Development Corporation. The case of the Blue Residences. In 2011, the Ateneo de Manila University filed a case of graft charges against the city government of Quezon City because zoning regulations only allowed buildings up to 24 floors in the area. But SMDC's The Blue Residences was set to be 42 floors. 3 years later, The Blue Residences was actually finished with 42 floors. A writer wrote in a newspaper column that perhaps the government allowed SMDC because new developments meant new income for the government. This means that new properties will entail new real property tax payments, which will mean additional income for the city government. Ayala Land. The Serendra Explosion. In 2013, an explosion occurred from a unit on the 5th floor of 2 Serendra in Bonifacio Global City, killing 3 people and injuring 5. The investigation concluded that it was a gas leak. During that time, all units of 1 Serendra and 2 Serendra had gas range. Because of the incident, the gas range was completely removed. Now, residents can only use electric stoves or electric cooktop. DMCI Homes. The Torre de Manila case, or the Pambansang Photo Bomber. In 2014, a group filed a petition against DMCI's Torre de Manila, claiming that the tower is an eyesore in the background of the Rizal Monument. It also said that DMCI violated the zoning laws of Manila City. On June 16, 2015, the Supreme Court issued a temporary restraining order to suspend the construction of the building. But in April 2017, the Supreme Court allowed the construction to continue. The insight here is that there is no law that prohibits it. Hence, in March 2021, the House of Representatives approved for second reading a bill that will prohibit real estate developments that could ruin the view of national shrines, monuments, and landmarks. This is House Bill number 8829, or the Cultural Property Sideline Act. Federal Land, GT International Tower. In 2019, a man climbed the GT Tower building in Makati without any harness. This man was 56-year-old Alain Robert, also known as the French Spider-Man. It took him 1.5 hours to climb the But when he reached the ground, he was arrested by the police for charges of trespassing and public disturbance. But Robert said, "Trespassing is entering the property, which I didn't. I'm just climbing a building. I'm not killing anybody." Robert has climbed so many buildings, it has been arrested many times around the world. But when asked why he does this and if he will ever stop, he answers, "It's my way of living. It's like eating and sleeping. I need this. It keeps me alive." Just like how Alain Robert feels about climbing, that it makes him feel alive, we hope that you will find the career or the vocation that will make you feel the same way. whether that will be a career or a vocation in real estate or something else. We also hope that these developers' humble beginnings and stories have inspired you. Thank you for watching.